Hi, Julie Torrens here. So, the envelope journal, that's what I'm holding here. It's upside down. There we go. So, that is what we're going to be working on. So, I'm going to show you this one that I made. Learned a lot. So, even the one we're going to be making won't be exactly like this, but 99%. So, let's just bring this around. I have an eyelet here. And then, so this is the cover. And then when you open it, you have a pocket here from your envelope, another pocket here, and then here I just stitched in a journal, but not full of pockets and things because we've got again another pocket here and another pocket here. And then this is the back of it. So isn't that nice? I really, really like it. So let's just see. This just gets wrapped around and then tied, and there's your journal. So how did I do it? Well, first I got this idea, or I got the inspiration from Treasure Books, and I will link her in my description. It's Natasha. So the first thing you're going to need is 4 envelopes. Now my envelopes are, when they're closed, they are 5 by 7. So that's the dimensions of this, but you can use any size you want. But you need to have 4 the same size. Now these are, I picked them up from the Hallmark store. They had them in bundles of 20 for $1. So I got a couple of bundles. But when you get started, the first thing you want to do is fold back the flap on each one, and it'll just make it easier as you're working this along. So I'm just gonna fold all these, just to fold back so that it's a little more flexible. Now, just because they're all the same size, they don't have to all be the same color. You can decorate them now if you want, or just leave them as is. I left mine as is. And so the first part is, out of your 4, decide which will be the cover. Now, because there's nothing distinguishing one from the other, any of mine can be the cover. So I'm just going to move this for right now. And I am going to start building my journal. So this is the cover, so it's going to fold back. And then this is going to go inside. And every time I've done this, because I practiced a few times, there's always a little bit to kind of get these snug in like this. Oh, put it in this way. I apologize. Put it in so that the opening is down. So there. Okay. There's our first one. And now I'm going to bring this over. Now I'm going to tuck this one in. And I am putting it face down. So I'm tucking it in so that the opening of the envelope is face down. And we're not using any glue, we're not doing anything, we're just tucking them together. And as I said, I'm going to have to turn and move this a little bit so that I can get it. There we go. Okay, so there's where we are. And this is still, that's right, so we're good. All right, so now we've got the 3. Now here's the last one. Face it down and tuck it in. Now when I was watching the tutorial, she kept spinning this around and spinning them around, and I got so lost. So I just had to take my 4 envelopes and put them together a variety of different ways so that I could get it right. Now, I may have this wrong. I think I do, because this one is going to need to go this way. so that the opening is in the journal, not outside of the journal. So that's what I mean. Like I said, I have done this before. Now here's where all that spinning comes in. And I'm undoing this as I go. So let me get this one back in where it belongs. And there we go. Now here's where we left off, and I'm going to put this one in, open side up. And like I said, just there. Just play with them a little bit. And now here is there. There's my journal. So you have pocket, 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 and pocket. Every time I do it, the pockets can be in different places, and it really doesn't matter. But if I want to, I can take this one out, flip it around, I think. Let's see. Sometimes you have two pockets open in the middle, sometimes you don't. Okay. Now here's my cover. One more envelope. And I think I'm going to tuck it in right here. Let's try that. Let's see what we've got here. All right, so now we open it, pocket, 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 pocket. Okay, let's try to turn this one over. I may not have that really in. Okay, this is good. Now I've got no pockets in the middle. So here's my cover. Pocket, pocket, none, pocket, pocket. Okay, now this one needs to go in here. Are you confused yet? Like I said, put them together a couple of times and then you'll get it. Natasha said it'll make sense once you do it. It never made sense for me, but all right, now my cover's not connected to anything. So this needs to get connected to something. There we go. Tuck this in. All right. Now I think we've got it this time. Pocket, pocket, no pocket, pocket, pocket. There. Now, how did I get to this point? I don't know. You just have to keep working it. All right. So here's my cover. And that is just right. Now, can you see how it's kind of wanting to shift and stir around a little bit? What I did, and this was different than the others, is I went in this middle because I just felt like, you see, here you've got one back of an envelope butted up against another. So when we go to stitch it, there's only going to be 2 sheets of paper. And that kind of concerned me for holding this all together. So I used some washi tape. So I've got some washi tape here. I got this at Craft Outlet. It's Prima. It's called Inked Maps. And it was regularly $14.99, I think. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. $11.99, and I got it for $5.75. So I thought that was good. Now, when we stitch this, we're going to be stitching in the middle, and we're going to be stitching about 1 inch from the top and 1 inch from the bottom. So I don't want my washi tape to go clear to the top and clear to the bottom. So I'm just going to make a little mark for me I'm not measuring, just about an inch from the top and an inch from the bottom. And then I should have it all covered. And just going to give this a trim. Good. And now I've got my glue book here. And I want to glue up this washi. I've never used Prima washi that I'm aware of, so I don't know if it's a good sticking washi or not. So it rolls. But let's just get some, glue stick on here. And then I'll feel a little more secure. There we go. Good job. We did it. Once you get the glue stick on it, it kind of relaxes. I think it makes it just a little bit easier to handle. Okay. Now, I did pick a washi tape that I thought would look nice. And I'm going to try to get it on just as straight as I can. There, because it'll show a little bit. I think that looks pretty. Okay. Now, my signatures. It's just one signature. So here is what I cut. Now, what I did was just kind of looked and saw where I wanted this in relationship to the size of the cover. And like I said, this is 7 by 5, and then 7 by 5. So this was 10. I made this 9.5. And then this is 5, and I made it 4.5. So that's how I came up with it. But again, your envelopes could be any size, so you're just going to have to sort of figure that out for yourself. And now let's just look. I've got some tracing paper. I've got some of this. This is to teach children how to write. That kind of line. And I've got another one of those. I got a couple of plain white. I got kind of a, I don't know, craft, like a craft color, craft paper color. And then I've got a purple. And then I have 2 book pages. And this is just books that I got from friends of the library. So first thing I want to do is one by one, get them folded in half. And just as straight as I can. And there we go. If it's not 100% perfect, there's nothing you can do about it. You do the best you can, and that's fine. I still can't find my bone folder. Wait a minute, I think I just did. I found it. Yay. Okay. So let's give this a press. Good. And like I said, I just want to do these one at a time and get a good crease in them. It really makes a difference when you're getting this journal put together if you fold them one at a time and give them a good press. Okay, I didn't mean to throw that. And here's the violet. I'm trying to stay within the frame. I did bring you in a little bit closer so that hopefully you could see my confusion more clearly. But I'm telling you, it's like a puzzle. You know it will work. You just have to come up with the right combination. And you may have a more analytical mind than I do, and it may come to you really, really fast. It didn't for me. All right, let's get this as a couple sheets of white printer paper. I know I've got 2. Here we go. So, what's on your desk? How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I've had a busy day just in my craft room here, so I'm getting a little tired, but it's a good tired. It was Harry Chapin. I don't know if you remember him. He died in an auto accident, but songwriter, and he's singer and he wrote story songs, which I like so much. But he said that his grandfather said, you can spend your day fulfilling other people's dreams on other people's schedules. I'm paraphrasing somewhat. Getting other people's priorities, and you go to bed and you're tired, but it's not a good tired. Or you can work hard chasing your dreams, fulfilling your goals on your terms, and you still go to bed tired, but it's a good tired. And I'm going to bed with a good tired. All right, let's mix these up a little bit. I want one of these book pages to be in the middle. So which one do I like best? I think it's this one, yes. So this is going to be my very middle page. And then let's put one of the writing papers in. And then maybe the craft. And then maybe a white. And then maybe another one of the writing papers. And then maybe we'll go with this is tracing paper. And then the violet. And I don't mind having white on the outside because it's going to be up against that bright, bright orange. I think it'll be really pretty. Okay. Oh, I left this out. Well, no problem. Let's put it in between the tracing paper and the ruled. Get that lined up. Get this lined up. And the violet and the white. Okay, so there is my little signature. And let's just see how this fits in here. There, I think that's nice. Now again, these envelopes, they need to kind of scoot one in a little more or out a little more, and you know, just because you do want them to be, got something going on here. Oh. Well now, what's happening? Cover. No, it can't be. Let's try this one in here. Yeah. Oops. There we go. Yes. Okay. There we go. Ta-da. Okay. So the next part is stitching it together. So I want to make sure these are as knit together as I can get them. I want to make sure that the ones that have the pictures are not upside down, which they're sideways, but that's okay. And that's fine. And then the very middle is right here. Let's see. That's fine. Okay. Now, I want this tucked in here. And I've got my little clamps. Now, do I have it centered the way I want? I think so. Grab a clamp. Opposite. Grab another clamp. And one more clamp. And there. And there's our cover. That's just fine. I don't want the envelopes on top of each other. Do you know what I mean? I want them to be butting up, but I can see this envelope right here has shifted just a tad. The bottom of it's fine, but it's not fine at the top. See what I can do here. Well, it's going to be that way. It'll be fine. Are we good? Did I shift other things around? I don't think so. Maybe. Let's see. I'm starting over. I know. And you know, I'm not a perfectionist, but it's just that anytime I've learned this with these journals, anytime you're just a fraction off, the further down you go in the process, the more exaggerated that becomes. So as best as you can, you really want to get things straight and on there right from the start. Just try. And as much as I try, I still don't necessarily have it right, but it's the best I can. Okay, now I want some waxed. I've got my waxed binding thread, and it's a waxed thread. And I've got my needles. Need my needle. And I need my pokey tool. And I'm going to try this without that book and just see if I can do it that way. All right. I go 1, 2, 3, and that is plenty. Get that out of the way. Get my needle and get it threaded. There we go. All right, whole time. Now, this is in the middle, so I want to try to get the middle just as best as I can without measuring. And I'm going straight through. And there we go. And now about an inch from the bottom and about I'm going to turn this around. And about an inch from this side. Okay. And let's start sewing. Starting right in the middle. There we go. Bring it through, but leave yourself a generous tail here so that you can tie it. And now this one. Then all the way across here. And this is just called a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. You'll see a lot of journal makers use it. So if you didn't catch it this time, honestly, you'll catch it another time. Even I've got now a couple of 3 videos that have it. And let's get this one back up the middle. Uh-oh. Something shifted maybe a little bit. There we go. And you don't want to split any of your threads. You want each thread to be running independent. Okay. Is it tight in the back? No. Let's get the needle off of here before I lose it. And tighten it up. I'm going to bring this thread so I have one thread on one side and one thread on the other side. Tighten. Okay, that's good. Tie at least a double knot. And there's 2. So you can see what I mean. When you do it the 3 times, the length, when you're measuring this out. And I'm going to put a bow in the middle. And then I'm going to give these guys a bit of a trim. Are these my Fiskars? No. That's why, sorry. That's why I'm having trouble. All right. There we go. Okay. I'm going to bring these in just a little bit. Okay, there's my bow. Looks fine. Take off my clamps. And here is our journal. Give it a nice fold. And now I'm just going to go here and kind of rework the pages a little bit so that they're not so sprongy, a little more relaxed. There we go. Okay. There. Now we have our journal. Isn't that sweet? So then what I did was I cut, get my awe away. I cut some cardstock that I thought would just go, and it's just single-sided. One of these is bigger than the other. And I just did this with having one of my envelopes on my trimmer and just kind of decided then. So the smaller of the 2 I want in the back. You need to make the back one just a little bit smaller, and I'll show you why in a minute. But I'm just going to glue this down like this. And I just think that makes for a nice cover. So I'm going to be using it's the Spirit Glue. Why don't I see it? All right, well, let's get the lid on this. And here it is. This is my foam and poster board from Beacon. It is not as tough as Fabri-Tac, but it is still very tough. Paper to paper, cloth to paper, cloth to cloth. Can you even see what I'm doing at all? Just kind of really getting it towards these edges. But I think this is just such a good strong glue. It lays down nice and flat. If any glue seeps out, it's really easy to get it off. Okay. Now, let's get this on here. See, got some glue right there. All right, that looks good. I'm going to get my paper towel. Now, we are not going to get this completely done, but we're going to get it a good portion. And honestly, once you get this much, you'll be able to just run with it. Now, again, I had my envelope on the trimmer, and I just kind of measured out a triangle to fit here. And I just think that looks nice. So I'm going to glue it on. But can you see how this edge rolls? That's why I'm not having it real close to that edge, because it makes it too hard to adhere. See, I've left a good 1/8 of an inch or more, but that's okay, because this really doesn't have a function other than decorative, and to try to get this to lay flat on that curve, it's not worth the risk. Because if it lifts, that's just going to be a spot that's going to hang up on things forever. I'm going to get a little more on this corner. Maybe a little more on this tip. All right. Bring this around. Even it up a little bit. I think we're doing good. I think that looks sharp. I really do. Now, if you notice a little corner or a little tip wanting to lift, just get your paper towel, put a little glue wherever you see it coming up, put a paper towel over it, and then hit it with a clamp. And then that will help it to stay put. Okay, and now here, and here's my second sheet. And this is the one that I said I made a little bit smaller, because right in here, again, it's curving, and it just doesn't want to adhere nice. So I'm just not going to fight it. I still think it's nice. I think it adds a lot. So I am not decorating these pages up, but I am going to be making maybe some tags or ATCs, journaling cards, something like that. I may put like maybe a little sheet of stickers that if somebody got this and they, wanted to mark something with some stickers, I have offcuts from all these papers. I may make one of those little tablets and put it in there. Like the last journal I made, I added a mini journal is what it was like. Okay, let's just slide this over a little bit. There we go. Just want to make sure I'm as even as I can. Okay. Get my paper towel and give this a good rub. And again, I'm going to look this over. Like I can just see I missed the boat when it came to gluing over here. Let's see if I can just ease a little in there without making too much of a mess. Okay, looks good to me. All right, so there we have this much done. Now the other parts, and I do have my eyelet setter, but it is not like all you folks that have the crocodile or whatever it is. So mine is a little fussier and it takes a little bit longer, but I just put an eyelet there, right there, and then added some, closure. And then this is where this is. Now, next time we get together, what I'd like to do is I'm going to decorate just a little bit in here. Now I can see this hole. I'll probably put a little something there. It's just from the stitching. And here. So nothing, and I'm going to leave these sheets alone. And then here's another space just from where the threading was. So I'm just going to probably, put a little sticker or something, but we'll do that together. And then here's our back cover. So I hope this gives you a good start in making this 4 envelope little mini journal. I think it's fun. When we get back together, we're going to decorate a little bit. We're going to make some ephemera or, as I said, some journaling cards or things that we're going to put in here. And then we'll call this project done. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Thumbs up if you like this video, if you found it helpful. Share the video with anybody else that you think might enjoy making a 4 envelope journal. And if you haven't subscribed, today's a great day. Thanks so much. I'll see you in another video. Bye now.